So it's 1989. A movie's going to come out about time travel and some people have an excellent adventure. That's right. I'm talking about Norman's Awesome Experience. Theme song.
Cartoons Reviews! Cartoons Reviews!
All right. Normally, I'd put a link where you could watch the movie, but this movie, as far as I can tell, was only released on VHS, so there's no place you can watch it legally. Instead, I'll just put links to Bill and Ted down below in case you want to click on them. Also, normally I don't show the trailers, but in this case, I'm going to make an exception because this trailer is amazing. So, trailer.
Hey dude, check out this new home video!
Go for it!
It's about this rocket scientist who zaps these guys back in time. It's totally gnarly!
Where do they end up?
Ancient Rome, dude! It's like one big party!
Outrageous!
You don't know what I'm saying, do you?
Look, dude!
Whoa! They're turning history upside down! It's totally insane!
What's it called?
Norman's Awesome Experience!
Norman's Awesome Experience?
Awesome! Available like October 5th at video stores everywhere!
Okay, based on that trailer, you'd think this movie, Norman's Awesome Experience, was a total ripoff of Bill and Ted. But it isn't. So apparently, they made the movie, Bill and Ted came out, and it was about time travel, and it was a huge success. So they changed the name of the movie, and they made this trailer to try and cash in on it. But the movie itself doesn't really have any of the style or the characters or the language like that. It's just a movie where some people get sent back in time. That being said, the movie's pretty awesome, and I do wish it would come out on Blu-ray or even DVD. So what's it about? Well, Norman works at CERN, the particle collider. And Erica is a model. Her photographer boyfriend Umberto, they want to get inside CERN to do a photo shoot.
Umberto?
Yes.
No.
What?
You're not on the list.
For Omni magazine.
We're here to do a layout. We're going to use your laboratory as a backdrop. It's for Omni.
And I think it's funny they mentioned that twice. I know that Omni magazine was kind of a thing for science, but still, a photo shoot for Omni. I don't think Omni really bought a lot of pictures of fashion photo shoots. So, in order to get into CERN, the woman sleeps with Norman.
I'd really like to get into your lab for some pictures.
They really want to get in there that badly? Who knows? And of course, when they get in there, it's just a bunch of computers and almost looks like it could be a power plant or something. It's not really worth sleeping with a random person for it.
Gigavolts, a billion volts of electricity. See, voltages of this magnitude are necessary to create the high-speed collisions of elementary particles. And this allows the physicists to attempt to observe what makes up the internal fabric of our universe.
Interesting.
And the movie likes to sort of throw out these things. You're like, oh, that's going to be important, but no, it's not. So, for example, the first time we see Norman, he's walking around with some drumsticks. And you're like, oh, him being a drummer, that's going to be important later, right? No, never mentioned again. So, how do they get back in time? Surely it's Norman, something he's going to do, right? No. It's another scientist who is wanting to do something with all the power. He's storing up too much electricity.
Yeah.
What? Nagelmeyer's gone 7 gigas over the limit and he's pushing it higher.
I want you to shut him down.
We tried. He's barricaded himself in the control room. Says he's got 20 gigas more.
Oh, that's impossible.
And that overloads the particle generator. And for some reason, Norman, Erica, and Umberto get sent back in time.
Smile, Norman!
And we never see that other scientist again. Turns out the three of them got sent back. They're still in Switzerland, but it's the era of the Roman Empire, and they're in a little village in Switzerland where it's about ready to be taken over by the Romans. Now, right off the bat, one of the things I liked about this was the Romans didn't speak English. They say they're speaking Latin. I don't know Latin. And so Umberto, luckily, maybe because he's Italian, or maybe just because he studied Latin, he can talk to the Romans, right? Unfortunately, the Swiss, well, we don't really learn much about their language. Most of them just stand around looking ooh in awe of Norman and stuff like that. We're told they like music and sex. So there's a lot of Norman, because he had those drumsticks, so he likes music. So he had a Walkman, and so they rig up a system like a megaphone, so he can play his music, his 20th century music, to the ancient Swiss people. I like the fact that it's not really a time travel movie. They're basically stranded there. So the movie, they don't even try to be like, oh, let's be like Gilligan's Island and make a time machine out of a coconut or something. No, they're stuck there. They're like, okay, we got to make a deal. We got to live with it. Norman, he ends up going sort of MacGyver, and he starts making things like gunpowder and things like that. And then Umberto and the woman, Erica, we already saw that they don't have scruples because they really want to get their pictures taken. So they kind of end up throwing themselves in with the Romans. So we have Norman with the Swiss people, and we have these other two with the Romans. So the movie it's fun. It's not perfect. Like the Swiss woman from ye olden days that Norman gets involved with. When we first meet her, she's got a shirt on with her boob hanging out. And it's like none of the other women seem to be wearing things like that. So that's just odd that she has that fashion sense. And then, of course, as soon as Norman hooks up with her, she has to wear, he puts a t-shirt on her, so her boob's not hanging out anymore. Just colonizing. Another part of it that's kind of that's really dated is how it deals with homosexuality. Now, I know the Romans had a very different view of sexuality than we did, and so relationships between men and particularly younger boys was kind of common in certain eras. But the way they deal with it here is Umberto and Erica get taken captive by the Romans, and the Roman general is kind of like, "Oh, I'm taking a liking to you," and of course the joke is he's talking about Umberto. But they don't really make it like a gay stereotype, which, especially in the 80s would be easy to do. And because the Roman generally still kind of, mean, he's kind of a badass still. But once that happens, both the general and Umberto are wearing pink from now on. It's like, I don't understand, because like before that, the Roman general was wearing, typical, stereotypical Roman centurion outfits. So that certainly could have been better. The end is pretty interesting. I like that there is kind of a happy ending, but there's also like, whoa, wait a minute, that's kind of a gutsy move. Unfortunately, the only copy I've found online, the quality is pretty poor. When the Romans are speaking Latin, there's subtitles, and some of the scenes you can't really read it because it's like a light background. It would be nice if a Blu-ray version came out, but I'm not holding my breath. All in all, Norman's awesome experience. It was a really fun movie. Really surprised by it. I will say I saw it on B-Movie TV on Roku. So if you got a Roku, make sure you get B-Movie TV. The link's below. I'm giving this 6 thumbs up. The name isn't great, but the film's pretty good. Go find a copy.